I chose Israel for my report. Israel's history. Israel is the only one true democracy in its region. It is a Jewish state. This is where Judaism and Christianity started. The word Israel comes from he who strives with God. The population is mostly made up of Jewish people. Israel controls the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The nations of Israel control is also known as the Promised Land. It is a very sacred place to Jewish and Christians. It is part of the Fertile Crescent. Long ago, these people were hunters and gatherers. Approximately 10,000 years ago, they started raising plants and animals. They built plows and farmed the land. These small villages grew into towns. The oldest town in Israel is Jericho. The Israelites moved into a region after 2000 BC. The people only worshipped one God. This region is known as Judaism. Abraham is the father of the Jewish people and established the belief in one God. God promised that Abraham would one day head a nation. In return, Abraham's people must obey God. Generations later were known as the Israelite people. Food shortages drove the Israelites into Egypt. They were captured by the Egyptians and treated like slaves. As stated in the Bible, God chose Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Moses encountered problems with the Pharaoh. God punished the Egyptians until they freed the Israelites. After Moses led his people out of Egypt, God gave Moses a set of rules known as the Ten Commandments. This was the beginning of the kingdom of Israel. The Babylonian Empire conquered the Israelites. Babylonians destroyed the great temple of Jerusalem and enslaved them. Then the Persians conquered Babylonia. The king of Persia allowed the Jews to practice their religion so they could rebuild their temple. The Romans took over and enforced high taxes on the people. They also banned the Jewish religion and blocked them from entering Jerusalem. They burned the Jewish temple. The Jews believe that God exists and he must act responsible within the community. They believe that God created the universe and has always existed, and that God is not visible and is not male or female. They also believe if people do good things, God will bless them. If they do bad things, God will punish them. God chose the Jewish people to uphold the Ten Commandments. Christianity started around 35 AD. Christians believed that the Messiah is Jesus, but the Jews believed that he was a leader chosen by God. They believed that the Messiah would help rebuild the Jewish nation. Christians believed that Jesus was born to Mary and Joseph in Bethlehem in a manger. Joseph was a carpenter. Jesus was a Jew and grew up in the town known as Nazareth. Jesus started preaching about forgiveness, compassion, and to always trust in God. He was very popular, and the king became very jealous and crucified him. As shown in my project, I built a manger scene showing where Jesus was born. He was born in a manger in a little town of Bethlehem. Bethlehem is a Palestine city located in the West Bank. Israel's government. The Israeli government is a parliamentary democracy. This is a political system in which the legislature, parliament, selects government officials like the prime minister, chancellor, the cabinet ministers. In this system, the government shares the responsibility with the people as well as a parliament. Israel also has a separation of powers that includes the House of Representatives. This is called the Knesset. Its main job is to enforce and pass laws. It also supervises government actions through the committee. It has a quasi-judicial system where it has the power to lift immunity of its members and the power to impeach the president. It can also elect officers. The Proclamation of Independence, or Constitution, was never completed, so they do not have an official constitution. Israel has a limited government. Each power oversees the other branches. Unlike North Korea, a dictatorship, Israel is free with a democratic government. The chief or president is Shimon Peres. The head prime minister is Benjamin Netanyahu. Economy and imports and exports. Israel has a market economy where decisions are made based on supply and demand. The prices of goods are done in a free system. This is known as capitalism. This system is based on trade and production. The goal is to make a profit. In the United States, we use the dollar as a form of money, and Israel uses the shekel coin. Israel mainly exports raw materials, including olive oil, wines, and farming goods. The farming goods include grain, diamonds, copper, and timber. Israel's imports include raw materials of oil, grain, and armed equipment. This is usually imported from the United States. Israel also has been a very successful producer of technology such as computers. In addition to the advanced technology, they make weapons, planes, and military equipment. Geography. In Israel is 7,951 square miles, which is about the size of the state of New Jersey. Israel is divided into 4 areas. These include the coastal plain, the Central Hills, Jordan Rift Valley, and the Negev Desert. The major landmarks of Israel are the Dead Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is a cluster of mountains in Israel and a great place to hike. The Jordan River is the largest river. Israel has 3 types of climates: Mediterranean climate, which means they have long, hot summers and short, moderately cold winters. The Mediterranean coast is made up of hills and mountains and gets most of the rainfall in this area. The summers are hot and dry. The semi-arid climate runs from Syria to West Jordan. It is basically a dry climate. Southern Israel and Jordan have arid climates. This makes up the Sahara and deserts of Arabia. Israel has 2 natural water sources, the Jordan River and the Sea of Galilee. Aquifers are used, but they still have disputes over water with their neighboring countries. In conclusion, Moses led the people out of Egypt, and the kingdom of Israel started. The Romans then conquered Israel and began rule over the Jewish people. Then Christianity was created, and Jesus was born. Israel has a parliamentary democracy and a separation of powers. The prime minister of Israel is Benjamin Netanyahu. In the beginning, they started out as gatherers and hunters, then moved on to farming and gradually became leading exports in advanced technology. The geography of Israel is magnificent. It encompasses a wide range from the Mediterranean Sea and the vast parts of the Sahara Desert. The Jordan River is the largest river in Israel. Climates are also vary, and water can sometimes be a major problem with neighboring. I enjoyed researching this amazing country and would love to visit in some time in the future.